So today I'm going to be sharing with you how I made my 2020 vision board. Hopefully this video is going to be a one-take wonder because I don't know what I'm doing, but I wanted to make a video and share how I do it because it's a super fun and easy way to make a vision board to really help just visualize your goals and kind of make your goals come to life in a way. I find it interesting that we live in such a visual society. We're constantly looking at social media, looking at pictures, watching TV, and looking at our phones. But then we leave our New Year's resolutions to kind of these like two-dimensional, black and white, just vague statements. And for me, it's been so helpful to kind of make those goals come to life by creating a vision board and just visualizing what those goals actually look like in my life. Now, this is not a manifestation board. This isn't like make it and stare at it for 3 hours every day and all your dreams will come true. Not about that. There's other videos for that, but not this one. This is also not like an art collage, art deco, vision board. Frankly, I don't find magazines that inspiring, and if they are inspiring, they're either expensive or I don't want to cut them up either. So this is not like that at all. This is a very simple, inexpensive vision board that anyone can make, and you can make it for whatever season of life you're in. Okay, so the first step is to have a vision. Kind of a key detail. You need to know what you're looking forward to, what you're working on, what your goal is. I like to think of my New Year's resolutions, intentions, goals, whatever you want to call it, as kind of the skeleton, and then this vision board is fleshing it out and making those goals just have something to think about and picture in your mind's eye as you're working towards them every single day. So your vision can be for a whole year, it can be for a summer, a semester, it can be for a new job, something you're working towards, if there's a new skill you want to develop. It can be very, very specific. For example, if one of your goals is to become a better baker, which is always my goal in life, then you could have a whole vision board just of baked goods or chefs that inspire you, whatever it may be. It can be very, very specific, or it can be general, kind of a life vision board, whatever. I think a running theme you'll notice in this video is that it's up to you. Whatever you want on your vision board is what you should put on it. And there's guidelines, but they're not really rules. And I think that's the beauty of it, is that it's open to interpretation and really allows you to personalize it and make it suited best for you, not just like following what someone else does. The second step is to gather inspiration. And this is where it differs from the going to Barnes & Noble and finding magazines and spending hours cutting them out. I don't know about you, but I don't have the time or money for that. So this is a much easier option, and it uses Pinterest, which I'm already on Pinterest anyway, so it kind of justifies all that pinning that I do. But my recommendation is to go on Pinterest, make a private board specifically for whatever your vision is, and then just pin a ton of things that relate to it. Now you might need to take a minute and think about your goals and kind of what a actual image of that would look like. For example, if one of your goals is to be more peaceful or something, then you might think, okay, what is peaceful for me? And if it's sitting by the lake reading a book, then you would find images related to that. And it can sometimes be difficult to figure out what photos represent kind of an ambiguous goal, but just think about it a little bit and I'm sure you'll find a lot of things. So I like to pin like 7 or 8 for every goal, and I ended up probably with about 200 images on my Pinterest board this year, and not all of them specifically related. Some of them were just like an overall vibe, or, oh, I hate that I just said that word. It can represent an overall, like the direction you want your life to head, or it can be really, really specific and narrowed down. I also think it's great to have variety, so do some inspirational quotes, maybe pictures of entrepreneurs or celebrities that inspire you, and you can do song lyrics if you're into that. Literally whatever you want. Again, running theme in this video, it's up to you. The next step is to save all of the images. Now this takes time, I will admit, so grab a snack, turn on your favorite podcast, whatever show you're binging, and just save all of them. I just make a separate folder on my desktop, just save them all, and I normally break it up into 2 sittings because it is a lot of just like tedious clicking, and I just can't do that. So break it up, but save all of the images. The next step is to create your vision board, and this is where you can use whatever software you are most comfortable with. I have used Photoshop, Illustrator, You can use Canva, which is free online, so you don't need to download any extra software. I'm sure you could use like PicMonkey. If you have a collage app on your phone that you like, use that. Literally so many options, just make a collage. Even a Word doc probably would work. So I do not stress about it being perfect, and I think that it could be an exercise for you if you are someone who likes things to be very aligned and whatnot. Just let this one go. I don't make sure the edges match up, and I just kind of throw everything on the vision board. And typically I don't end up using all the images that I've saved, but it's nice to have all of them to reference as I'm making it. And you want to have the specific goals, the images relating to the specific goals kind of grouped in the same area. They don't necessarily all have to be in the same place, but just kind of when you look at one specific area, you know, okay, all of these relate to being healthier or being more sustainable, whatever that may be. Just kind of group them together. That way, when you're looking across the board, it makes sense. And it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else, but it has to make sense to you. And that's the key detail here. This step is the secret ingredient, if you will. This is editing your vision board. So once you've created your vision board in whatever kind of software you're gonna use, save it as either a PNG or a JPEG, not a PDF, and then import it into Lightroom and edit it as you would an Instagram photo. And for me, this just completely changed it, because before I would make them and they just kind of looked like a hodgepodge of things that didn't really go together. But when you add a filter, it just creates a cohesive layer across all of them that really ties them together. And especially if you're someone like me who always edits everything in a very specific way, instead of being a random collage, it just becomes so much more personal. So I definitely recommend doing that, and you can use whatever filter you like, and it's fun because it just brings it to life and makes it look so cohesive. And like all the images go together, like they were created that way and shot that way, it just makes them come to life. The final step is to print and hang your vision board. Now you don't necessarily have to print it. I always make mine my desktop background at the beginning of the year, but I also do like to print it as well. I always print mine at Kinko's because it's super cheap, and I believe it was only $1.30. And then this year I ended up laminating one of them, and so that was around $2. Either way, it's under $5, which is incredible considering the fact that if you're going the magazine route, that would barely cover the cost of one magazine. So you can print it and then hang it up. I love hanging it in my room, and because it is well curated and edited to look cohesive, it really doesn't look like a random tacky collage. It looks like a piece of art. I've never had anyone come in my room and comment on the fact that it looks weird. They always just think it was like part of the design. So it's good to have it up, and I'm not gonna say you have to like stare at it every single morning and recite your goals, but it's just good to look at it and remember what you're working towards. And especially on those days where you just need a little extra boost of motivation, I really appreciate being able to just look at my goals in a visual form and just see what the end result hopefully would look like. So now I'm gonna show you a couple of my vision boards, and these are ones that I've made for previous years, and I'll go into a little bit more detail about some extra things that you can do. So this one I made for my creative, just like journey, if you will. That's really dramatic, but I just made it for some creative purposes, and it's mostly just things I want to achieve or people that inspire me specifically creatively. And I love this one. I always keep it in the back of my bullet journal because it's just nice to reference when I'm getting kind of discouraged creatively. It's just good to like refresh and refocus. Next, I have my vision board for 2019, and this one, whoops, I did a little differently, and I added words to it. And basically what I did is for the little like sections for each goal, I just added some description, I guess. It's not like specifically my goal, but just the overall intention of it. For example, down here I have a lot of sustainable, like eco-friendly things, and so I have live thoughtfully because that was one of my intentions for the year and this year as well. But it just kind of helps me like put some words behind it, and it just summarizes each little section of the sheet. And then this year my vision board is very warm and toasty, which I love, and it's again a little broader. Obviously I have a picture of a little girl, but I do not want to have kids this year. That's not in the plan or really possible. So this one is just like a more overall life one, but within it there's things that I know are related to my resolutions for 2020. But again, just adding the filter creates such a cohesive look, and I think makes it so pretty. Obviously a vision board isn't going to get anything done. You still have to put the work in to make that vision become a reality. But for me, it's just really helpful having a visual representation of my goals so that I know what I'm working towards, and it just helps me stay on track and stay motivated. So if you guys make one, I would love to see. And I really like that this way it's not a manifestation board, and it's not an expensive or intricate collage. It's just a fun, quick, and inexpensive way to make my goals come to life.